Now we're going to train some more spinal extension. What I'm going to need is to be close to a wall, because one of the things we're going to try to do is block the pelvis and allow our legs to be in the same position as we're working through spinal extension. And this is an exercise we can do on the floor. So we've seen Cobra, which looks something like this. And then we've seen Sphinx, which is similar, but a little higher. And then we've seen some sort of up dog, which is up this way. Now, from the side, what you'll see for myself is my hinge point is probably pretty low, and then somewhere around where my rib cage meets my lower rib cage reaches my spine. I'm going to try to distribute more of that pressure through more of the middle component of my spine to allow more extension. So I'm going to actively push into that direction eventually. But what we'll do to help restore extension is it takes time. So I want my feet up against the wall, my heels are touching the wall here, and I'm going to put myself in a semi-sphinx pose, but I cross my arms just because it's just more comfortable for me, or just my toes rested up against the wall. I'm going to allow my sternum to be the thing that comes up from the ground. Everything else stays rested. So I do have a lot of ribs on the ground. And I'm going to stay here for roughly 2 minutes. Now, for those 2 minutes, I'm trying to check in and feel in my spine if I'm having any sort of pinching sensation. If so, I'm going to lower myself. We're not pushing into pinching through the backside. If it feels tight in the backside, again, we're a little bit too far, so we'll drop the chest. But we're going to stay in that same spot where I feel nothing other than the fact that my sternum is coming up from the ground. For me, I can rest right about here, and everything feels pretty darn normal to me. One of the things that gets missed in training more range of motion is time. We need to spend the proper amount of time to allow the tissues to adapt to the signal that you're trying to give it. We're going to spend roughly 2 minutes just in this little position, this pose, trying our hardest to not be very fidgety, looking around, playing with things, moving my spine more. We're just trying to stay static. Stay right here. If you feel like you can only do it for a minute, that's fine. But we need to work our way towards 2 minutes. 2 minutes is where we're creating real adaptations. If you're doing a minute, you're going to have to do this more. So if you want to be more efficient with your time, dedicate yourself to the process and you'll get done quicker. You'll also maximize the results. So now that it's been 2 minutes, I need to slowly start to contract the front side of my body, and that will be my core and my abs without moving my body. So now that it's been 2 minutes, I'm going to start squeezing my abs and thinking about my sternum and my rib cage going down towards my pelvis. I'm going to hold this contraction. I'm going to slowly tuck my pelvis very slightly to assist that contraction in the front. Hold, 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 strong squeeze. I'm going to tension in my hands too, just create more body tension. And then as I slowly release that, I'm going to lift my arms off the ground and allow my lower spine to contract and shorten. I'm going to hold that, trying to squeeze those back muscles. It's a mini Superman. And as I slowly start to rest, now I'm pushing myself into a slightly deeper range of motion. So now that I'm here, if you have props, pillows, things like that, that'll help you stay rested. Again, I am a rest on the elbows kind of guy, but my sternum is a lot higher now. I'm in a deeper range of motion, trying to breathe and relax my spine. I'm making sure that right through here I'm not pushing through my feet into the wall, they're just there. We're going to stay in this rested position for about 30 seconds to a minute. So this one's shorter because your tissues have been through the 2 minutes already, so we can get some good work done here. So now that's been 30 seconds, again, I'm going to contract the front. I'm going to create tension in my hands, tension in my biceps. Everything's going to start to get tighter to protect my body, including my glutes and my feet. And now I'm going to tuck that pelvis. I'm going to bring that rib cage down. I'm going to contract my abs. This is a 10 to 15 second hold. I'm giving it pretty decent effort. You can notice I'm kind of shaking here. Then I'm going to slowly remove my hand, use my back, contract, hold that position, thinking about pushing my belly into the ground, recruiting more fibers in my spine to work. Ten to 15 second hold, and rest. So that is an option for restoring spinal extension in the cobra position.